Joe Biden gets to and has declared a sort of victory on one of the main promises that he made at his inauguration, which was that in the first 100 days of his presidency, we would hit, first they said 100 million doses of vaccine administered, but they destroyed that in like 48 days. And then they said, okay, we're gonna go for 200 million doses administered. And they've apparently done it with a couple of days to spare. And that is even without the supply of Johnson & Johnson's vaccine, which is undergoing a safety review. So that's probably a few million they weren't able to do. But the US has been shipping out more doses than are being used in recent weeks, which is good news in terms of logistics of vaccine delivery. Bad news in that it says some bad things about the US demand for the vaccine, which we'll get into more. But let's acknowledge they have administered 199,426,628 vaccines as of April 21st, yesterday, leaving 8 days with the goal achieved. That's pretty good.
That's so exciting. It's so many vaccines.
It is, and it means we're a good chunk of the way towards return to normalcy, towards herd immunity. There's still, a lot that needs to be done since each of those doses, much of it, you require 2. So, I got Johnson & Johnson, but I believe you have one of either Moderna or Pfizer, right?
Yes, I have Moderna. I am half vaccinated, so I get my second one next week and looking forward to getting violently ill, but excited to be fully vaccinated.
I've heard some things about that second Moderna shot. I don't envy you the experience, but it's worth it, obviously.
Definitely.
I think so. So here's the thing though, as we alluded to, they've been shipping more than they've actually been giving to people, which look, that could be an administrative thing. Like all of a sudden they're doing a bad job of scheduling or something like that. But I don't think that's what it is. And we have a couple of pieces of evidence towards that. One is that President Biden, who has met that first goal, is now trying to go beyond that, less by sending out more vaccine and more by encouraging people to get the vaccine. And here's the way that he's doing that. He announced a new tax credit yesterday to reimburse small businesses that give workers paid time off to get vaccinated against COVID-19. The tax credit will be available to businesses with fewer than 500 employees, allowing up to $511 a day for each employee. Biden called on all companies, regardless of size, to offer paid time off and offer other incentives such as gift cards or bonuses to encourage employees to get vaccinated. That is a big old tax cut. $500 for each employee each day.
Yeah,
the employees aren't getting that money though. That's not what they normally get.
I mean, I think that's great. I'm happy to see that we're kind of addressing some of the realities that go into why someone might have difficulty accessing a vaccine. When I got my vaccine, I had to take the day off work, go to the vaccine site, kind of wait around. Not everybody can do that. And so I think this is a good way to sort of address some of the actual logistical challenges that people might face in trying to get access to the vaccine. So I'm really happy to see this.
Yeah, no, and I'm really glad that you said that too, because whether purposefully or not, I had sort of implied that this is really just an issue of vaccine hesitancy, but you're totally right. Like if you have to drive a good distance, if you have to potentially wait in a line, if you're working multiple jobs, it's not an automatic that you can do that. If you're like, and so sure, if this encourages people to give their employees time off so they can get that tax credit, and especially if they roll some of that money back into the employees in the form of bonuses or I think that sometimes gift cards can be used in a way that's sort of condescending by companies, but look, if that gets people to get vaccinated and they also save their life, then that's a good thing. So overall, I don't know how much this is going to accomplish, but it seems like a pretty good attempt to get more people to get vaccinated.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think you're right that we talk so much about hesitancy, and I think that we should be talking about that because it's a conversation we need to have. But I also want to continue having conversations about access and making sure that folks who do want to be getting vaccinated have the access to do so. And I'm kind of like you. I'm always a little bit skeptical when something is going to the business owners. I feel like I want cash in the pockets of workers. I want incentives going right to the workers. So I don't have to worry that, well, is XYZ boss actually going to pass that, that initiative down to the individual employee? I hope they are, but I always think money in the pockets of workers is better. But yeah, I'm happy to see this. I think it really does address some of the access issues that folks are facing.
I agree, although it does leave some questions unresolved. So for instance, can a company claim it if some of their employees already got it? Would there then be gift cards for that? Would they be for, like Barnes and Noble or Best Buy? I'm just saying I got vaccinated, TYT. Maybe look into it. There might be some money, we could split it.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.